You're liar.
This hot spot's legit.
Not in order. That's the only one though.
No. It's disconnected over here.
Can we hit the Bluetooth button here? I would I would unconnect there. Say it was connected to the Bluetooth. That's what's connected. And is it Bluetooth? I don't know if it's the Bluetooth between the speaker
Okay.
or if it's the just letting it load. I don't know.
Only had that system.
Everything's up there. So that means you're up If you're little, can you clear for a minute? Just, if, can you just clear for a second? I mean, I can try to track it later. I think we're gonna have you sit in a chair so that you can at least watch, right? No. You don't wanna watch? No. Oh. Should I turn this off and have an action with it? Maybe. No. Just instead of pausing the music and like changing it, just turn it down. And then, okay, can you back that? Then we'll probably have you head to advisory then with Miss Perry. Says no this, please add this. Okay.
Hey, you start work close.
Go ahead.
When you get to arrive, where would you like them to be?
Oh,
Do we have guests here? No.
We have a podcast, and I can put up a cover where you're ready.
If we could do the hub for about 5 minutes and then head to the gym.
if you don't want to watch, that's totally fine. But we're gonna have you head up to advisory then, okay? Yes. Where is Smoky though? He said he was recording.
I just was watching y'all on YouTube.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Ms. Nancy, you still have those boys who were to the auditorium?
Hey, Miss Perry. Go ahead. Go for Perry. Where should we go for the afternoon for integrity? Okay, thank you.
Okay, now go.
I don't have eyes on them on the camera. Only they is their designated spaces. Hey, staff, the students that are choosing to come to the fashion show can start to head down now.
stop there. So there's gonna be no stopping there.
I gotta go get my bag.
If you wanna go get it, on the side, the chairs on the side. Please make sure if you have bags, you put them behind the chairs.
No, whenever you offered someone to sit,
Please, any bags, put behind your chairs. I just asked any bags, they have to look behind the chairs. I'm also gonna ask you guys, unless you're taking pictures that your cell phones are put up. I understand for your book, but otherwise, just be respectful of the work that this team has done. If you're gonna be texting me on your phone, I'm gonna ask you to go down. No, I don't want to get off this. I just, no.
It's like worse when you're like running around.
Hey.
One of the sides, the fix behind the chairs. The end chairs are reserved.
That way, quick.
I turned them. Me and Hayden turned the whole thing.
I'm gonna just say one more time, at least one more time, so people join. My main request is today, start out of the way, because we'll be walking through here, and then if you're gonna be tempted to be on your phone for any reason besides pictures of the runway, I'm gonna ask you to leave. There really want you to be respectful and considerate of our students, okay? Same with conversations, if you're gonna be tempted to have side conversations, you're already nervous of doing this, and then if you're talking, they're gonna be more self-conscious. So just make sure you have a positive audience.
This isn't going to anybody else. You want to be on.
I see what I
Kristen, you stand like right at the end of the carpet. Look at that. Yeah, there you go. All right, thanks. Yep. Kristen, one more time.
I feel like I'm trying to do today.
Yeah. All right, good.
Does anyone not want their program? There's one. Oh, I know. Oh, Terry's gonna get that. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for coming. We're going to get started. This is our debut of our runway fashion show for Fashion Tech. This is the first time we've done Fashion Tech here at Dottke. And the goal of the students for their deliverable was to have the fashion show to debut their items. So when we started the class, we started with the students doing a vision board where they had to think about their values and their inspirations and then just quotes that stood out to them to see how what they do and what they live every day, how that does impact their fashion choices or how they do things in the world. So that then led to them sketching designs that were inspirational to them and meaningful to them. And then they used those designs to complete research on how they would create their designs. Each design is a little different based on the student's interest. Then the research led to the project planners. The project planners led to them completing their deliverables and creating their fashion designs. And then that is what you're going to be seeing today as they showcase their designs. Okay? So without further ado, we will get started.
Way to go. Got it, Fern.
Yeah, all right. Hello, hello. Got it, hello. Yeah, say it. Boy. Look at it. Going. Way to be. How's Sophie get in there?
Okay, so that is the extent of them sharing their designs, and we're leaving this time open for any questions that anyone may have, and they are aware that this is happening. So they are ready. One question, go for it. There's a room right now. They didn't like necessarily like flip out one of the two outside. Everyone hear the question? Can you hear okay without the mic, or do you want the mic?
Couldn't hear.
Okay. So the question was what happened to the jeans that she made, which are up next to her sweatshirt? Nancy, do you want to say it one more time? I made them, but they didn't come out to how I wanted them to. They looked a little too distressed and for my liking, so I chose to not wear them.
Can Saya tell us more about the inspiration behind her dress?
So I really like vintage fashion and stuff like that. And near here, I guess a couple months ago, there was a theater that was moving locations, so they were selling lots of stuff. And this dress originally didn't have this, like this, and had some more other pink ribbon on it and stuff that was kind of deteriorating. So I cleaned it, and I was like, I want to do this for the project. It would look really pretty. So yeah.
Any other questions or comments?
Can someone tell us about a design or two that they started with that just did not work? Like, give us the awful story of, oh my gosh, I tried this and it didn't work. Okay, Ari's got one.
Almost anyone can answer that. Oh, thank you.
So I was originally going to make a special, what was it? It was a special shirt that I was going to make, and it didn't turn out well because it was with the sublimation machine. We tried to heat transfer it onto a black shirt, and it didn't look correct. I mean, you could see some of it, but it just wasn't good enough. And then I decided, because I was originally gonna have a shirt with this, and then all of a sudden it just didn't work. And I didn't have enough time
to do heat transfer vinyl, and we didn't have the right colors. But my helmet, so as you can see, I'm not sure if there's any like tread marks from when I like, I don't know, but yeah, this helmet, it was a little complicated to do the wiring and stuff. It was because I didn't use it with yarn to like practice like what I'm gonna do with it. And then the mistake I made was like it was originally gonna come around here, but then I completely forgot about that, and I went right into the like this part right here. Hold on. As you can tell, it's voice activated. So yeah. Also, you can tell that it is the B right here. I had to, but it turned out pretty good. Yeah.
Who else had a struggle?
Okay, so for my outfit, I used a sewing machine for mostly all of it. Like I started out with just yards of fabric, which was a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. Like of course I knew it was like, oh, got my outfit from scratch, you know, but it was quite difficult. I originally was gonna make a shirt, like with it. It was gonna be like flowy, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna like think about it. I was like, it's gonna be so cool. Let me tell you, it is so hard to, for one, like figure out how to use the materials that you have to make something that you're like, that's not too bad. And not to mention, we had a lot of like sewing machines break and needles getting lost and supplies being lost. So it was just kind of like a interesting time trying to put together my whole outfit. The shirt didn't turn out how I wanted it to, so I'm not wearing it. But I am wearing my skirt. Yeah, it was pretty hard though. Not even gonna lie.
So I had a lot of challenges making this part of the skirt. I broke like at least 4 of the sewing needles on the machines. So that's not good. But when I was beginning to try to do this with the machines, the thread kept getting caught up. So I eventually asked my grandma for help. And she said to put tissue paper under it so that it was thick enough and you could just rip it away, which it worked really well. But I was stuck there for a good while.
Yes. Did any of you have to learn a whole new piece of equipment?
I had to learn how to sew both ways, through a sewing machine and like actual sewing. I have sewed before, but not really good. So I think the hand sewing I did on this side is pretty well, and then the sewing machine I did on this side is pretty well, in my opinion. Only hand sewing. Yeah. This is gonna sound kind of like you didn't know how to use it, but I didn't know how to use an iron. Like it's like the first time I've ever had to use an iron, and I had to like flatten the fabric to like sketch out the design of the skirt and the shirt. Oh. It's kind of scary too, because it's like it gets warm so fast and you don't think it's hot, and then you're like, oh, let me make sure it's like warm. Put your hand up to it, you're like, oh. Okay, I didn't touch it, but like I put my hand out for like feet. Anyways, that was just kind of.
Can you ask? Can you ask?
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Yes.
Look, don't judge.
It's from
Okay, yeah.
It's Roderick's band from Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
What does it say?
Loaded diaper.
Which is what? We know it's the band name, right?
Yeah, it's the band. Oh, from Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Students, any questions? Go ahead.
Yeah, so you guys talked about your learning targets that, you had to sort of analyze yourself and identity in terms of some of your fashion choices. Would somebody be willing to share a little bit what you thought about yourself or how that's your fashion choice is reflective of maybe some of the things you see about yourself?
You guys are probably sick of me talking. So at the beginning of the project, I'm not sure what Orlo said before it came out, but at the beginning of the project, we had to make vision boards, kind of to show what we wanted our outfits to represent and like what we saw as like what we thought of ourselves and what we wanted to put into to show our personalities through the outfits. This was, I'm so indecisive. I'm like, oh, that's so cute. And I'm like, whoa, that is also really cute. So I had to learn how to make some very difficult decisions. I also learned that I'm kind of cool with like anything. Like I think all the different types of fashion are kind of cool and unique in their own ways. So I realized through this that I really know nothing about myself, like whatsoever. I know a little bit, but I kind of realized like, oh, I'm actually this really complex person who likes all these really weird things. So I kind of had to like think on it. I had to think about what I like and what my values are, kind of like that. So, yeah.
Good answer.
Can we get a, remembering stuff? Can I get a picture of you walking down the runway? Yeah.
Tell us what you're wearing, Wardlow.
Yeah.
Okay, so Slater was doing bleach dye, and I've always thought it was really cool. So I bought a dress, and I asked Slater to bleach dye the dress for me. And then I needed advice on shoes to go with it, so we had a few tries. But that's what I'm wearing, is Slater's design.
There it is.
This was, I don't really like social stuff, so what I did was I just tried not to think about it until the last second.
I also too don't like walking in front of people, but I mean, who really does, What I did, oh wow, we were in the cafeteria, we were breathing in and we were breathing out, we were smelling the flowers, blowing out the candles. I was almost having a panic attack, but I didn't. I walked out and I kind of just imagined like everyone was not looking at me, so I like just walked around and I didn't think of it too much. It was a lot to do with at first, but I mean, I got through it, so yeah, so I did it, yeah.
I have Tourette's, if you don't know. I've been fighting the urge to not like tick during this. That's one of my things out of the comfort zone is that I don't really like to show off my Tourette's when it's like an event or something like this, So I just usually try to fight the urge sometimes. Every now and then I would take, it's the reason why, through my eyes, the reason why they call it tick is because it's like a ticking time bomb. You don't know when you're gonna tick, it's like, Tourette's can be pretty annoying, is what I can say. Shout out people who have Tourette's. I have it too. It's complicated, even especially when I'm cooking. I've gotten burnt all because of a tick that I've been trying to fight the urge. It's like crazy because,
Wait, is it?
Yes,
It's on?
Yep.
Okay. So, practice makes perfect. It took a lot of practice. I feel like, if I just tried to practice and breathe and not think about it. But I think the practice it really was very helpful.
So during this process, I wasn't really freaking out about going down the runway, but while I was making this, I was just totally mortified of accidentally cutting something wrong or irreversibly destroying the dress. Almost anything I could have fixed by stitching back together and I cut it wrong, but I was still so scared of doing something wrong to this. It's hard to hear that.
I was just saying she never looked scared. She always seemed very confident with everything that she was doing. So we maxed that very well.
Yes.
Two questions. One is just, can you raise your hand if you did any of this work outside of school? Planning it, working on it, your design, anything outside of school?
I just bought mine.
Okay, so a lot of you guys did stuff outside of school. Okay, thank you. My other question is, when it came time to was there collaboration involved where you got feedback from other students to make changes on your designs? And if so, how did that work?
I worked with Rebecca and Slater and Ella, and I helped and we all just sort of worked together to try and figure out what we needed to do.
Yeah, I think there was definitely a lot of collaboration from everybody with each other, even if it was direct or indirect. There was a lot of feedback and there was a lot of talking to each other. And I think that everybody as a class, we all got closer because I guarantee you that, I wouldn't talk to any of these people in any other setting. But I'm kind of realizing, oh, okay, these are all people who are similar to me. So, okay, so because I previously had worked with the sewing machine, I helped a lot of the people who needed to use the sewing machine figure out how to start it and stuff, which is lovely. I love helping people. Then I'd also be oh my gosh, I need to work on my project. Anyways, it's pretty cool though. I like collaborating with everybody.
I asked a lot of people, I asked people a lot of questions about their opinions on how I should put stuff together, usually minor changes, but he also did help me at the beginning of this class with the sewing machine, and later I was able to help a couple of other students with that. So okay.
Ms. Hayes also helped a lot with the sewing and just collaborating and giving feedback. So thank you.
So when we do really cool, exciting events, we like to recognize people that go overboard to do really cool stuff here. So look around. We could have done this event in a classroom. We could have done it in the auditorium. But instead, because at Dottke we do things way different and we think crazy outside the box and big, look around. We turned this gym into this cool fashion show. How cool is that, right? So I know Miss Hayes helped out a lot, and our secretaries were ordering stuff. Doug came in, stole me with all the lights and music and camera, and all kinds of other people. But of course, we gotta recognize someone who stepped way out of her comfort zone and said, I'll do this fashion class, and I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll learn along the way. And let's make it big and awesome and amazing, and take big chances, because at Dottke we take big chances because we get big rewards. So I wanted to recognize Ms. Wardlow for all of her hard work. Okay, I'm gonna hand it over to Wardlow and maybe she'll end it out. I don't know.
Thank you. We do hope to do this again next year. I'm thinking maybe like once a year thing. I don't know if we can do this every semester. I would love this fashion show to be longer and more students participating, so please keep it on your radar as an elective class for next year. Okay, thank you all for coming and being an awesome audience and supportive. Thank you.
Woo! Yeah! Good job.
So I told them that they should just stick around in case anyone has individual questions, but students, you're more than welcome to go back to class. If you want to talk to them or take pictures with them, you may. Your book is down here. You want to do your book?
There's a little thing on it. They have like you got it from, well, just like ordered it all, went to the bouquet of flowers and all of it.
I should know, because I asked you to do something.